What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the JT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, JT. We got to talk about the wildest story of the NFL offseason up to this point. This has nothing to do with free agency. Last Friday, Chiefs wide receiver Xavier Worthy was arrested for domestic violence on a family member by strangulation. And when I first saw this news come across my phone, my mouth dropped. There are some players when they get into these off the field instances where you're not really surprised. But to see Xavier Worthy in a situation like this, I couldn't freaking believe it. Because first of all, the dude's like a buck 60 soaking wet. So there's only so many people he could be able to wrap his hands around to strangle. So I was like, something's just off about this. And then the next day, he ends up getting released. The charges get dropped. And then it comes out that his girlfriend at the time, Tia Jones, who happens to be a track star, he just had her at the Super Bowl. She's been to nearly every single Chiefs game this year that he's played in. She cheated on our king. Yes, an NFL player got cheated on. Yeah, it's tough out here. It's really tough out here. Yeah, so he caught wind of her infidelity. He told her to pack her shit, get out his crib. She refused to do so. And then she decided to take it upon herself to assault Xavier Worthy. She took out his dress. She destroyed his house. And then she had the audacity to take it a step further and try to blackmail him. Yeah, she threatened to try to end his career. And it is a shame because, Xavier Worthy wasn't guilty at the time. But in the eyes and the court of public opinion, he was. And when more details started to come out about this, you started to hear less and less people talk about it. And this is the prime reason why Jaden Daniels' mom doesn't allow him to mess around with these shorties, man. These shorties will cost you everything. They were already engaged. They were supposed to get married. And it just turns out, this shorty was looking at Xavier Worthy as a meal ticket. And that's what's so tough about dating in today's time, man. Nobody's trying to grow together. Nobody's trying to be the next Jordan Pippen. Nobody's trying to be the next Brady Belichick. Everybody just wants a sponsor nowadays. They just want a free ticket to a championship. And that's what this shorty was after when she got with Xavier Worthy. Because if she really cared about this man, she never would have slid on him. And I had a homeboy that was in a similar situation like this 5 years ago in 2020. He got out of his relationship with his girl at the time, but then they got back together. But then one morning he woke up and he was just done with her. So when he said that he was really done with her this time, she ended up calling the police. She was like, I got something for you. Then 20 minutes later, he has like 10, 15 officers kicking down his door. They arrest him. They said that he assaulted her, even though he never did. She lied on him. And with this taking place during COVID, my homie wasn't able to, get the right lawyer and get his legal situation situated. And he was in jail for a lot longer than what he should have had. And during that time, while he was locked up on these false allegations, he lost his house and he lost his car because he didn't have anybody who could, make the payments for him, even though he had the money to do so. So when he came out, he was right back starting over again. And even to this day, he still hasn't been able to completely bounce back. That's why you got to be really cautious who you get into relationships with. Even if you take your time to get to know somebody, just human nature, somebody can fuck with you today and then turn around and hate you tomorrow. And it's just really unfortunate that Xavier Worthy had to go through this. Now he's rocking a low ski. You know how hard it is to maintain dreadlocks and to get them to the point that Xavier Worthy had them at, and to have to cut them off due to this Looney Tunes. I just feel for him. It definitely is a harsh learning experience. But this just goes to show that when it comes to not just being an NFL player, just anybody, you're never safe. There's people out there that say that You know, everybody cheats. They just never get caught. When it comes to women, don't know how true that is. That's just a lot of speculation out there. But if Xavier Worthy, who just had this girl engaged with the ring on her finger, had her at one of the biggest events in the world, Super Bowl 59, can't stay faithful, how can we trust anybody else to stay faithful? Y'all be safe out there. Hope that Xavier Worthy's able to shake back from this. This is definitely a traumatizing experience for somebody like him, but I think he'll be better for it. Hate that he had to go through this. It's just unfortunate that this trash tried to blackmail our king, but I'm glad that he wasn't found guilty of anything. Now, of course, the NFL is doing their own investigation into the matter, but the evidence is pretty clear. He cut his dreads. Like, this shorty tried to ruin Xavier Worthy's career after she got caught being in the wrong. It's just insane to me. How are you really going to cheat on an NFL player? Somebody who was just in the freaking Super Bowl at that, and I guarantee you it was either with a rapper, a trapper, or a scammer. One of those three. One of those three, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts from. Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Links are down in the description and pinned comment down below. And I'll see you guys shortly with another episode.